Hello everyone and welcome back to Victoria's Cantina. Today we're having a look at the Kenner, the Lost World Jurassic Park Walmart exclusive Young Tyrannosaurus Rex from 1997. This dinosaur is a repaint of the Kenner Jurassic Park Young Tyrannosaurus Rex from 1993. As you can see here, the dinosaur is exactly the same as it was before, except for the fact that they have repainted it in this darker paint scheme right here. While Kenner didn't repaint and repack a lot of the Jurassic Park dinosaurs from 1993 and 1994, especially the larger dinosaurs, they did do so for this young T-Rex, which is just great because it's a beautiful figure, as you can see, just looking at the dinosaur over there. Even though it isn't something we actually saw in the film, it still looks like something we could have seen in the film, and it does resemble the adult T-Rex, not just from the Kenner Jurassic Park toy line, but also from the movie. As you can see, the original release is more of this sort of brownish tan sort of coloration. It's got some darker brown, almost coffee-colored stripes that run along its body, a few little patches here on the leg area and so forth. Underneath, it's more of a lighter sort of color. And then with the Lost World version that was done as a repaint, you can see here that it's more of a dark green sort of coloration, much different. And for some reason, it has much pinker coloration inside its mouth. And this is actually the third repaint that Kenner did after they did the original right here for Jurassic Park Series 2 in 1994. They did a blue and yellow version, which is just gorgeous. Very expensive, though, to track down nowadays. So this was the third version right here. And then later on, Hasbro did a re-release of the young T-Rex yet again, which was kind of this sort of coloration here, but then it had more of like little yellow spots and green spots and stuff like that. And was done out of a harder plastic, not the more realistic skin that these other versions of the young T-Rex have. So I actually picked up this young T-Rex on eBay. I think I want to say it was in 2011, 2012, probably 2012. And I got it in a lot of dinosaurs with some imperial dinosaurs and some other generic dinosaurs. And it was only $20 as part of that lot, which was a heck of a deal because these guys aren't cheap. This green version may not be as sought after as the second version from Jurassic Park with the blue and yellow coloring, but it is still very sought after, and packaged versions of this one currently go for around $300 to $400. So I got really lucky getting a loose one at $20, which also included, like I said, a bunch of other dinosaurs. Now, I did for a short while have the original Kenner JP Young T-Rex that we just compared this one to, but I didn't have it for very long. It was actually my very first Jurassic Park dinosaur back in 1993 that I had acquired from Target, but I decided I wanted to exchange it for the Triceratops. So that's what I did. My grandmother forked over the extra $7 and helped me exchange it for the Triceratops, which for whatever reason was a little more expensive. So it was really cool many years later when I was able to add it to my collection once again. It's one of my favorite Kenner JP dinos of all time. And I don't really think it matters what color you get it in because all three of them look great. Perhaps not the fourth Hasbro version so much, but the three Kenner ones are phenomenal. And this dark coloration is very unique because Kenner didn't do a whole lot for their dinosaurs in terms of really deep colors. They did some that were a little bit realistic, but nothing that was exactly this dark, which is very interesting because it does look very different from the original release. I think that from all angles, Kenner's Young T-Rex is just a fantastic piece, and I'm really a huge fan of this. Unfortunately, because of the way that these guys were packed in the box, they actually came with a little human figure. It was like a little dino hunter or something or other. And the way that they packed it in the box, it would have just been sitting in there with its tail bent like that. And you would have had the human here on the side. So it cannot stand the way that I recall my young T-Rex being able to stand from Jurassic Park. This one, it just kind of falls back. I suppose you could probably like put something under its tail, like maybe a little clear polycarbonate rod or something to keep it propped up, but it doesn't stay without any support, so that's kind of a bummer. But I mean, the condition that this is in, considering that I got it as part of a used eBay lot, it's in beautiful shape. Now, it wasn't like this originally. It was covered in dirt. It looked like it had maybe been played with in the mud or something, so it did have a lot of mud along its body. And what I did is I took a soapy toothbrush, the warm soapy water, And I just kind of, gently scrubbed it all out from all the little fine lines and cracks and wrinkles and striations in the skin, because you can see it's very detailed. There's a lot of little places for dirt to get stuck in there. And I was able to get everything out, and there's no trace of that dirt there anymore. But luckily underneath it, it was just a beautiful dinosaur, very beautiful piece. There really isn't too much in terms of paint rubs or anything that's really detracts from the overall look, but it's in beautiful shape overall. And of course, this is typical. You kind of have the little separation right here once the glue kind of starts to go away. So I might be able to super glue that. But I mean, it still looks phenomenal. And I just really like the colors on it. Again, it's very different, and I don't like it quite as much as the original release, but I do like that they did a very nice job blending all the colors. You really do see a lot of coloration in there. You see like, this dark jungle green. You see different shades of green, some lighter greens. You see a little bit of blue even, some yellow. And underneath, of course, it's got a little bit of a lighter color too. And just all in all, it really does look fantastic. The eyes are painted very nicely. You can see that it looks a lot like it did in the film. Even today in 2016, Hasbro can't get the eyes on T-Rex toys correct. They give them the cat eyes every time. And Kenner knew what they were doing. They did a heck of a job. Inside the mouth, again, you can see that it's a very vibrant pink, very bright pink for reasons I can't explain. And I mean, it looks okay. I think a little bit more of a neutral sort of peach color would have worked better. But hey, also the teeth are very cool. I always really liked the teeth on this one, and they are kind of sharp actually. And they just look very nice, very nicely sculpted. And the way that you activate the little, I guess it's kind of an action feature, but it's also kind of not, is you just squeeze the neck and, its mouth opens like that. So I really love the rubberized feel of this. I mean, when I hold this in my hand, I'm filled with a nostalgia that nothing else really gives me. I mean, I just I remember handling these as a kid. So the feel of these rubber dinosaurs is like very unique to these dinosaurs. There's nothing else that really feels like them, which is really, really cool. The claws, as you can see, they did paint them. Very nice sculpt work on its hands and arms. You can move its arms. They do swivel, which is very cool. You can move them just like that, and they're very firm and in place, which is awesome. The Dino Damage itself, the Dino Damage piece is missing, unfortunately, and it is very expensive on eBay. I've tried to get one just by itself, and generally you can't even find it, but when you do, very, very expensive. But the inside of this one looks pretty good, seems to be in pretty decent shape. The legs, very nicely sculpted. Both the arms and the legs are made of a harder sort of plastic material than the rest of the body, which feels very rubbery. And just show you the detail underneath there. Look at how awesome that looks, how the color blends like that. Again, just really, really awesome. Now, originally this would have come with capture gear. When I got this one in the eBay lot, of course it didn't have capture gear. Of course it didn't have the Dino Damage piece, but after digging around online, not too long ago actually, I was able to find some restraint gear from somebody that was selling them, and they were still in the little plastic baggies, so brand new. Now, I did look a little bit online at this, and while this piece right here and this piece right here are correct in terms of what the young T-Rex back there would have came with, this one right here is not. So I think that these restraint gear pieces here were actually from the Utahraptor. And the reason that I know that is because the number of links right here in the chain is different. The young T-Rex would have had more links than Utahraptor. So, but I mean, it's not really a big deal because it still works, and I'll show you how you do that. Basically, you put his muzzle on him like that, cover his eyes so you can't see what's going on. You get the little choker collar and just kind of put it around his neck like that. And then for the bottom piece here, the leg chains, like he's a prisoner in prison, and you just kind of open him up. There we go. And then you do have to kind of stretch his legs a little bit to get him on, just like that. But yeah, now he's got his capture gear on, and I think it's cool. I mean, if you're a kid and you just want to have fun with your dinos, you know, you might enjoy the capture gear. And it's kind of funny because when he has the leg chain on there, he does sort of stand on two legs. And yeah, I guess probably because of the pose, it's just kind of pushing his legs apart a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, I think this looks quite good with the capture gear. And I'm really lucky to have been able to find it on eBay. I think I paid like $5 for it. So yeah, works like a charm. And I don't display him with the capture gear on my shelf, but you know, it is nice to have in case I want to show somebody, like show you guys right now how I'm doing, how it works. So that's really cool. And just take it off. You just take it off the same way you put it on. I try to be delicate as best as possible because I don't want to damage the paint, which would probably be pretty hard to do. I mean, these are built very solid, but you know, we all care very much about our prized Jurassic Park dinosaurs. And one of the great things, of course, about the Kenner Jurassic Park dinosaurs from 93 and 94 is the fact that they were all designed within scale to one another. So that just allowed for great playability and great interaction with all of the toys because they were in scale, something that unfortunately is not even close to being true with the Jurassic World toys. And as you can see with Ian Malcolm here from the JP line and with the Lost World Velociraptor, they both scale up very nicely next to the young T-Rex. And then, of course, we do have to compare the young T-Rex along with the big red Rex from the Kenner 1993 Jurassic Park toy line. And as you can see, the young T-Rex doesn't look like a baby per se, but it does very much look like a young T-Rex, quite literally. It does look like a juvenile version of the adult. And I think that's fantastic. That's exactly what you would expect from the people at Kenner. I think overall this is a fantastic piece. It's a gorgeous piece. Again, the young T-Rex is one of my absolute favorite Kenner Jurassic Park dinosaurs. I just think that they did a heck of a job with it. And the sculpt is totally there. It looks very much like the adult T-Rex from the film. No, we didn't see a young T-Rex in the film, but it was in the book. And I imagine that if we had seen it in the film, it probably would have looked pretty similar to this. So all in all, I think that Kenner did a fantastic job here. I really am happy with this young T-Rex and the circumstances that surrounded my being able to add him to my collection. And it's in beautiful shape. The coloration on it is very nice looking, very different from the original release, but also very striking in its own way. I like it quite a bit, and I'm really happy that I was able to find some capture gear for it. The only thing I'll need to find, of course, is the little Dino Damage piece, which I'm not too optimistic about, and then the little human figure that would have come packed with him, which I'm also not, you know, terribly concerned about either. But, you know, I got the main attraction right here, and I got the capture gear. So I'm really happy that I have this. And if you're able to get any of the young T-Rexes from Kenner for your Jurassic Park collection, then I highly recommend that you add at least one, because no Jurassic Park collection is complete without the young T-Rex. Alright my friends, if you enjoyed this video, then I do encourage you to please like and subscribe. Let me know down in the comments whether or not you've owned any versions of the Kenner Jurassic Park / The Lost World Young T-Rexes, or whether or not this is something you would add to your collection at this point in time. Be sure and follow me on Facebook and Twitter for the latest in news and updates. And as always, I want to thank you for watching Victoria's Cantina. Till next time, my friends. Bye-bye.